Well, hello everyone. I'm Bruce, and welcome to another video on Congress Weekly. Thank you for tuning in. The latest COVID relief package passed and it is now signed into law. If you are eligible, you should receive, if not already, stimulus funds. The bill is massive. I'm going to go through it to see what is in the bill that has nothing to do with COVID relief. I'll report on that after my review. Speaking of health, the Senate just confirmed Xavier Becerra, and my apologies if I'm mispronouncing his name, as the new Health and Human Services Secretary. He is the first Latino to lead this department. Don't think this wasn't planned. I have heard that his qualifications to run Health and Human Services are not stellar. So that can only mean one thing. President Biden wanted to have a Latino in a key role. The president's thoughts had to be thinking about votes. Sad that someone is selected based on them getting you votes, but this is not new to politics, to either the Democratic or Republican side. Secretary Becerra was approved in the Senate by a 50 to 49 vote, with Senator Collins, a Republican from Maine, as the only Republican voting for him. He is for abortion rights and supports Medicare for all. In the meantime, Congress is not just sitting around, but rather trying to push through as many bills as possible. The Democrats would like to approve what they can without needing the Republicans' involvement. For now, that can't be the case, but the Democrats are looking at ways to get around the 60 votes needed to pass most legislation. You probably have been hearing about the influx of illegal immigrants entering our southern border. The president is asking them to not come yet, but a little late to say that. Many issues involved with illegal immigrants crossing the border, but what is receiving the most news is the number of children. What the governments of the southern states are concerned with are the children being properly taken care of, and is the coronavirus being spread. What has the governors up in arms is they are not permitted to go into any of the areas where the children are being kept for now. When questions are asked of the president's press secretary, she refers them to the Department of Homeland Security. When reporters talk with Homeland Security, they do not provide answers. Now, my question is, are we now living in a dictatorship where we, the American people, who are paying for this crisis brought on by the Biden administration, although you won't hear his administration call it a crisis, not allowed to know how all of this influx is being handled? Why so much secrecy? President Biden hasn't even been in office for 100 days, yet he is making it perfectly clear we, the taxpayers, are not allowed to ask any questions that they don't feel like answering. In my opinion, this will catch up with him and his administration. In addition, President Biden supports Democrat backed immigration bills that include a path to citizenship ahead of a vote in the House on the pieces of legislation set for today, March 18th. The House will vote on two immigration bills, one to provide a pathway to citizenship for undocumented immigrant youth, also known as Dreamers, and a second bill to provide legal status to certain migrant agricultural workers. The Biden administration is telling people don't cross the border, but at the same time is pushing for immigration reform. And all of this without the backing of the Republicans. Keep in mind, this isn't the Republicans being difficult. They know many of the American people do not support these bills the way they are written. Now, is the Biden administration thinking if we get enough illegal immigrants their citizenship, that they will generate more tax dollars? Our hospitals, doctors, nurses, and staff are already seeing an overflow of people because of COVID-19. Adding more people to the mix will only break down the process. What is going to happen when the illegal immigrants start using the doctors and hospitals on a regular basis? I'm not against those taking the path to citizenship. That is what our country was built on. But I do take offense when there are so many illegal immigrants allowed to enter our country who can practically bypass what the immigrants went through to obtain citizenship. And not everyone wanting to come to America are law abiding people. There are some bad actors mixed in. What are the Democrats going to do about that crisis? Blame it on former President Trump, of course. Now, let's talk briefly about international relations. President Biden is calling the president of Russia a killer. What is President Biden thinking? Does he feel this will somehow put us on a good relationship with Russia? I don't think so. And the Biden administration is threatening North Korea. Really? Where is the common sense in all this? Finally, Iran is building new ballistic missile launch sites. Have we heard President Biden denounce this action? I haven't heard it. Yes, I am fired up, and rightly so. We are supposed to be a nation of freedom and democracy. I am seeing it going downhill very quickly. And, as I have mentioned previously, being worked in the background are the Democrats finding ways to strip Americans of their Second Amendment rights to bear arms. I am picking on the Democrats only because they are currently in charge, and in my opinion, following a path I do not agree with. I will not hesitate to state when I hear of the Republicans going down a path in which I disagree with. In conclusion, the secrecy of this administration must stop, and we, the people, are the only ones who can stop it by voicing our opinions and voting. The president needs the will of the people, or he will not succeed in his position. It is also time to stop hearing when there is negative news that the blame is being put on former President Trump. Stop being wimps and either own up to what you are doing or fix it. And one more point. These hate crimes against Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders has got to stop. That is not the American way, and it is an embarrassment to our country to have these crimes taking place. Enough is enough. Well, thank you for watching. Once again, a lot going on, and in my view, not for the right reasons. If you like my videos under Congress Weekly, please click the thumbs up and subscribe. You can also leave your thoughts by using the email address shown below at the bottom of the screen. Until my next video, please be safe.